Good morning and welcome to Backyard and Beyond. This morning we have guests from BPW, Business and Professional Women, Jackie Wicke and Margaret Sontag. And good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, of course, we have a couple of annual things that we want to talk about. One is the National Business Women's Week, and of course the other is the craft show. So, because we want to save those details and get it on their camera or calendar, we'll save the craft show for a minute. So let's start with the National Business Women's Week with Margaret Sontag.
Yes, the third week of October since 1928, we've been celebrating National Business Women's Week. And it was established to give the whole business community the opportunity to acknowledge and see what the accomplishments are of working women. And it just really gives us a good chance to honor them and get out there and support them.
You know, people should think about up and down their main street, wherever they're at, and count the number of business women who are either owning a business or managing a business. I mean, that number continues to grow all the time.
Yes, and also like the number of bachelor's degrees and master's degrees that are given has risen. It's a higher percentage of women now than men. And also, 20 years ago, it was illegal for a woman to get a note by herself. She had to have a male co-signer. And with the passage of the Women's Business Ownership Act in 1988, that has changed.
Good point. And I know that sort of varies from bank to bank. Sorry to say that, but at least they've got the law now behind them to say, you know, you really need to give this a fair look if we're thinking about a business. And I just think it's exciting. You know, if you took all the business women away from their businesses, most towns would have to shut down. I'm sorry, but that's it's just and sometimes they're not the biggest business in town, but there's so many of them.
Yes, that's right. Jackie and I and Pat Saltmarsh went to see 9 to 5 last Sunday,
yes.
And that really hit home. You know?
It's a hilarious movie.
I'd like to add something on that, too. I had just seen the movie Secretariat.
Oh, yes.
And just the things in there from the early 70s, late 60s, early 70s, how she, as the owner of the horse, and not allowed in a lot of the places where the men were, you know, they didn't want her coming into the men's room, or the men's club, I guess it was, to talk to other men executives.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And I haven't seen the movie, but I've read several reviews and saying, you know, people didn't want to listen to her, but she sort of made them.
She sure did. So things have changed.
And look at the results. So that's great. You just recently had your annual meeting, the annual state meeting, I understand, and both of you attended?
Yes, we did.
Sure did.
What was exciting, Jackie?
It's just great to be with all the women across Iowa. Atlantic is the largest organization in Iowa now, so we're one of the main leaders. You know, a lot of people across Iowa look to Atlantic for a lot of the leadership things that we do.
Mm-hmm. That says to me that you have an interesting organization. You're always doing something that is meaningful to women. Or you wouldn't be getting new members. Margaret, it's hard to get new members in most groups. They're all failing.
Yes, it is. There was one new member at our state meeting in May, and somebody said, well, why did you join? And she said, because somebody asked me. So, you know, we just got to get out there and ask. There are a lot of people out there that don't realize what we're all about, and they would really like to join. They just need to be asked. So if any of you ladies are out there, we're asking you right now.
All right. And are there any special qualifications? Do you have to own a business or manage a business?
No, actually, you don't even have to be working now. That used to be a qualification, but now several of us are retired. So you just
be interested.
Come and join in. Yeah, and we have a lot of interesting programs. We learn a lot, and networking is wonderful because have any problems or anything, the support is just fantastic.
And I think that's on a personal level as well as a business level, correct? I mean, I've heard people say, you know, they're having some kind of challenge in their lives, and they call on their BPW friends or maybe they don't even have to call you. You call them.
Right. You don't have to call. They're there.
Yeah. So that's wonderful. That's a great support system. So reason to join. And when do you meet?
We meet the third Wednesday night of every month at 6:30, and we go from various restaurants or Sometimes we have it at Iowa Western and cater a meal. It's always a meal.
Okay, very good. And Jackie, I know you're really interested in membership. When you said you're the biggest group in Iowa, how many is that?
Right now we have 43 members. We have a lot of younger members that are very interested now. Sometimes, they can't attend every meeting. They can't attend everything that we do, and we all understand that. We're all busy. Everybody's very busy, but we just stress that you do what you can do.
Okay. And with those younger members, that's going to keep your group going.
Yeah, that's what we're hoping for.
Yeah, well, and they just add new ideas, and then so that keeps it pretty exciting. So
We're looking for all those gals that are now getting too old for JCs. You're not too old for BPW, and we would love to have you in both groups.
oh,
too, if
good,
you like.
good point, Margaret. Good point. So maybe is there anything else, Jackie, you want to add about membership?
Just right now, we're kind of stressing a membership drive. So anybody could talk to Tina Lords and Pat Saltmarsh are the co-chairs for the membership committee. Pat can be found down at Rex's or call her at home, 243-4567. And Tina has a new business downtown. And so that was another thing that was from her networking and getting to know people that she's been able to just jump right into that too. It's something for you.
Something for you, and that is true. If you haven't been in there, you need to go check that out. It is pretty amazing. So let's move on to the craft show, because that's another event coming up here really soon, Jackie.
It's this Saturday. And
How did it get here so fast?
I don't know. They just get here faster than I ever think all the time. But it's Saturday, October 23rd, coming up here at the Cass County Community Center at the fairgrounds.
And what time is it open?
From 9 to 3
Okay.
is when the vendors will be open for business, and we will be having lunch as usual. So come on out and see us.
And I'll bet you could come out at even 10 and get a piece of pie if you didn't want to.
They'll be cut.
Yeah. If you can't do lunch, well, you can always come out a little earlier and pick up some yummy things.
I usually
to eat.
have to go to work by that time, but they tell me that they do sell sloppy joes
Oh,
already
I
about that
suppose,
time.
You know,
so.
if that's somebody's favorite, sure. Why not? Why wait around until noon? So, how are you coming with vendors?
It's just a fantastic year. In fact, my co-chair, Becky Bonney, she said, if anybody calls anymore, I don't know where I'm going to put them. But I said, well, that's a good problem that we've got.
Absolutely.
So right now we've got 45 plus vendors because we had a few more people call yesterday. And so that is 65 plus different spaces.
All right.
So it'll be full.
Yeah, and all kinds of things. I mean, it's almost impossible to think about. But I know you have a list of some of the things that'll be there.
Well, we have opened it up to home-based businesses also. So we're going to have somebody from Avon, Beauty Control, Tupperware, Tastefully Simple, and Arbani, plus all of the crafters that come. And there's just an enormous amount of different things from jewelry, sweatshirts, aprons this year. I thought was kind of interesting.
That's a newbie, yeah.
Yep. The yard art, handbags, floral arrangements. Our popcorn gal will be there. Homemade dips, children's books. It's just
Something for everybody.
you bet. Come on out.
And you can eat it there, or you can buy something for Christmas for somebody
Oh,
else.
you betcha.
I always like to come out and kind of look around for Christmas shopping, get something maybe different that you can't find somewhere else. And much of it's handmade, so that makes it very special too.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, and you always have that fantastic sweatshirt display. I mean, it goes on, and they're always so cute and so appropriate, and really.
And everybody asks about her every year whether they're going to be there. So
Ah.
sweatshirts are still a popular item.
Oh yeah, you bet. And people love those theme ones, that maybe you just bring them out once a year, but it's something you can use on and on. So that's good to know she's back. And of course, purses.
You bet. Everybody needs another purse.
You think? Oh my gosh, I can't believe how purses have just gone crazy. So all the members, Margaret, get involved with various parts of this craft show. They don't necessarily have crafts, but
Yes, everyone is required to either pay a certain amount or bring 2 pies and work in the kitchen.
okay.
So
And you have a good time.
Yeah, we do. We have a good time. I think that's why we have so many members is we have a good time no matter what we do.
Yeah.
So
Very good. So again, that remind us to get this on our calendars coming right up, Jackie.
it's this Saturday, October 23rd, from 9 to 3 at the Cass County Community Center at the fairgrounds.
Okay. Any last good word about BPW?
Well, I would just like to tell our mission statement.
All right.
It is to achieve equality for all women in the workplace through advocacy, education, and information.
And to learn more about that, of course, find out. Visit a meeting. You know,
Yes,
you don't have to
everybody-
say, "Well, I'm absolutely going to join." Visit a meeting. Come and see what it's all about.
We'll be at the Pizza Ranch tonight at 6:30 if anybody would like to join us. So
Hey.
come on out for our monthly October meeting.
Talk about something timely. That's great. Okay, well, thank you both, Margaret Sontag and Jackie Wicke, for coming in this morning. Until next time, here's a thought. Ideas are funny little things. They don't work unless you do.